think it was quite a roller coaster ride for me watching the speakers right from Suhail Seth in the morning and Dr. Chandan Chaudhary and Dr. Sam Pitroda. Looking at all the challenges that were spoken and almost not seeing any hope. But when you look at the other side, Mr. Devdutt Patnaik speaking about assumptions and myth and mythology, I think one needs to look at from a perspective that assumptions are there everywhere, and you make assumptions as you work, as you speak, as you do your activity. But assumptions are made to be validated, because with assumptions you form hypotheses which may be correct, which may not be correct as well. So you need to understand the assumptions in the right space, and challenging the assumptions is an important aspect. If you look at any project management body of knowledge, they say that the first thing that you need to do is create your assumptions, and the second thing that you need to do is challenge your assumptions. And these are two important things that keeps the hope going and keeps the human cycle going. And then you look, then you see the dream that Dr. Chaudhary showed in his project, in his short video clip, as to how you can dream to a future which could be a reality in 10 to 20 years from now. Having said that, just to set the context of my presentation, just wanted to look at is that we have seen that consumer behavior or customer behavior is changing, whether it's urban customer or whether it is rural consumers, the behaviors are changing. Therefore, the patterns keep on changing in the energy sector. Now, having said that, we need to look at many more things around smart grid initiatives. It is not only about the smart meters, which are the mechanisms of collecting data as well as communicating back certain decisions, but there are a lot of aspects to that where it will keep you taking decisions periodically. As you do your forecasting exercise on a daily basis, you also take decisions on a daily basis. And to be able to take decisions on a daily basis, you need to have certain insights that are generated out of the system. And to be able to generate insights out of the system, you need to look at analytics or analysis in a larger spectrum. Not that institutions do not do, not that distribution companies do not do, not that generation companies do not do, not that transmission companies do not do, but the spectrum, the scale, the process that is adopted may require a bit of an adjustment, may require a bit of continuous improvement in the structure to make it a reality and to make the difference happen. Because we need to really gear up for this, because the decisions that needs to be taken to make something agile, to make something responsive, to make something self-healing, the paradigm is a little bit different than what we are talking about now. All these are spectrums of information management. So if you need to take effective decisions, the way that you need to look at it is manage the information space a little bit much more smarter, if I'm permitted to call it. And trust me, this industry is unique. Although we refer to telecom sector, there is a great knowledge there, and there is a great potential to learn from other sectors. But data per se, this industry, there was no dearth of data, I feel, that energy and utility sectors have. It is a question of that the volume, the variety, and the velocity is growing in the tremendous pace with introduction of multiple technologies. The data was always there, and whether we call it sensors, whether we call it meters, whether we call it SCADA systems. I mean, 20 years back, 25 years back, I have implemented SCADA systems in companies. I mean, that's something that at that point of time, probably I was not understanding the true meaning of why we are implementing the SCADA systems, or why we are, what kind of data it will generate, or what kind of decision that I will take using that data itself. and how it can improve my reliability and availability of my machines. But there were infrastructure that was built around that. So big data or data is not an issue that this industry is look at. It's only the approach that needs to be taken, has to be fine-tuned or adapted in a big way. Now, there's a challenge that you see in this kind of a spectrum. When you are going up with things like smart grid, which you are implementing, 25,000 meters, 30,000 meters, and the explosion from a daily level or from a monthly level, you are now looking at a 15-minute interval level data. I mean, trust me, it's quite huge, and that's where if you don't analyze that, it becomes like if you start feeding a system continuously and increase the frequency of the feed on top of that, there is a tendency of becoming a couch potato. At the end of it, you will not be able to move at all. So having an objective of agility, having an objective of responsiveness, having an objective of self-healing, without bridging that particular aspect of how you are going to leverage the data, I think that needs to be defined. Already there are in some of the initiatives that we see and some of the smart grid projects as well, but it needs to be a little bit more defined across the various focus areas that has been identified. So time for a paradigm shift that has to be adopted. Trust me, this is not a negative statement. It feels good when you have an ice towel in your face, and when you put your face down in a heap of ice. It really feels fresh and focuses you to look at innovative ideas. But there is a need of having a paradigm shift. We have seen the levels of engagement that is expected from senior leaders of the country. We know the levels of frustration that is coming up. In the morning we saw that, just concluded session we saw it. There needs to be a paradigm shift in looking at it. So taking that clue into the picture, I came across a presentation which was recently done in one of the events, and which had articulated the various initiatives around that. Each of these elements that we talk about, whether it is demand side management, whether it is demand response, whether it is peak load management, has got certain elements of analytics on top of that. You will be having huge amount of data, but when you want to look at insights out of it, to take certain decisions of whether you can create an opportunity or solve a problem, or to choose an alternative, or to find different ways of doing things, it becomes very clear that gathering data will not solve your problem, but analyzing data, applying certain aspects to the demand response programs to be able to generate that becomes very, very critical. The same thing happened in telecom, the same thing happened in banking sector, the same thing happens in insurance, the same thing happens in e-governance work, the same thing happens in any sector that you take. Whenever they start collecting our data, they want to improve, or they want to go ahead with the maturity cycle of their analytics program, because that gives the cutting edge aspect of increasing your revenue, retaining your customers, keeping the margins that you want to do. So analytics becomes very important at that point of time across all the spectrums. Now, one thing that is important also to look at it is that it covers across all the spectrum. Now, how do you apply this? Do you want to look at individual components? Do you want to look at small components in demand response, then certain sporadic initiatives in fraud and non-technical loss? Do you want to take up a separate forecasting system? Do you want to take up a separate component for deployment optimization or predictive assessment? Everything can be looked at it in a different way, but the best way to look at it is from a perspective that analytics, when you apply, the visualization has to come with that as well. When you explore data, when you visualize data, it becomes exploration. You don't get insights out of that, you just explore. So we need to be careful in what we are applying. Data visualization is not analytics. Analytics is something over and above that which facilitates decision making. And when you visualize that analytics portion, it gives you the insight for you to make the decision making, the right and the fact-based decision making. And that is where it is important also not only to look at various tables and reports that are there, but importantly also to picturize the decision elements that come for various areas that we are talking about. And when we say why sporadic analytical interventions sometimes pose a little bit of a challenge and becomes more of an integration project, is because a lot of elements, lot of different technologies come into play, lot of interoperability issues come up during the execution part of it. And with the problems that you are seeing of transfers of people, skill, living, we need to have a trade-off of how much of these components needs to be looked at separately. Rather, like an oil rig platform, you don't have different elements. You put a platform, analytical platform, that can address all this, and whatever needs to be built on top of that can be built with the expertise, with the capacity that is there within the system. And some of the examples that we have worked out in other utilities companies are from a load forecasting side, because it poses a lot of challenge from a time of use tariff, from peak load management. Everything is linked up around that, and it is important to understand that you need not reinvent certain wheel, but adapt certain technologies that are there, not necessarily as a whole, but if it allows the integration with the Indian climate or Indian conditions, then there is no need to look at reinventing the wheels. And with the visualization, it becomes all the more critical to look at that. The same analytics can be applied to identify certain non-technical losses and technical losses. So I'm not going to detail. Why I brought this picture up is that it is not enough to write the word analytics in certain requirements that we specify, because there needs to be a definition, and because it needs to be applied in a specific context. So there is a process. If you want to change work processes, you need to define it a little bit better. And that's why these elements have been worked upon to define integrated analytical processes that can govern certain demand response programs or peak load management programs or peak shaving programs. These needs to be a little bit more defined as far as the scope is concerned, and there are technology that is. One of the key instances that we can look at is that IT industry has benefited from maximum engineers. Most of the engineers, if you find electrical, mechanical, or civil, are there in the IT industry. I think there is a opportunity to really contribute back into their core sector. Having said that, the analytics maturity of the distribution companies that we have seen globally, most of them are in the localized area where they do certain things at a departmental level or a division level, or it is driven by individuals or driven by passionate people who want to really make a difference or who want to go into the fact-based decision-making processes. But the smart grid pilots, I think it's really an opportunity for us to be able to move to the stage 3, to be able to look at fulfilling the analytical aspirations, and so that we build up an integrated enterprise platform that can then be evaluated from a technology perspective, which will be scaled up, because this is just the beginning of the journey. As you said, this is a 10-year program. I call it a 10-year or 15-year program, and these pilots are just the beginning of it. So it is important to look at from that point of view, that it gives a tremendous opportunity to actually move and enable us to come with the paradigm shift that is there. And what it just requires is an orchestration of the information management for facts-based decision making. Thank you very much.